Blessings TV. Blessed to be a blessing. 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 Blessings TV. Blessed to be a blessing.
Hi. Oh, my. The Lord, you know I'm going to say the Lord bless you. The Lord richly bless you. You're watching Time with Blessings here in the studio. It is going to be a wonderful time. I want you to call a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend that Blessings TV is on Time with Blessings. Now, today I want you to get your pens, to get your notebooks, and we are going to. I have a great gentleman with me in the studio, and today, listen, the Bible says to us, for lack of knowledge, my people perish. For lack of knowledge, my people. He didn't say the people of the world. He says, for lack of knowledge, my people perish. And Jesus says that sometimes it looks like the people in the world are even more smarter than those of us in the kingdom. Now, today, we are going to talk about life issues. Some of us, we have traveled from our countries to different countries, and all we're thinking about is how we're going to accumulate money and buy shoes and, look fantastic and go and build homes in our countries where we're not even staying. All right, so today I have a great man, a real estate, I can say a real estate mogul in our community. He's a voice in our community, a voice to the voiceless. And today I am talking to Mr. Jonathan Laryea, and we are going to have a good time. And so get yourself ready and make sure that whatever God has for you in 2019, you will not be denied of it. The Lord bless you. The Lord bless you. How are you?
I'm fine today, thank you.
Wonderful. Today I want you to tell us something about your beginning.
Okay.
Your beginning. How did you begin?
Well, in life, I didn't have it easy. You know, I said, I should call myself a hustler. I mean, a struggling man. I was able to pass the secondary school in Ghana, but I could not because my parents were not able to help.
Wow.
Even though we have scholarship to St. John's Secondary School in Accra, but they couldn't.
You went to St. John's?
No, I couldn't. I was interviewed to come, but my parents were supposed to come for half of the money, but they couldn't. So I couldn't make it.
I went to St. John's Preparatory.
I see. So I had to go to my aunt in Accra New Town, where I had to go to a day as a day student in at Accra Technical College. Yeah, at in Kokomemle. That's right. So that's where I went, and after graduating, I went to I look around, and I saw that the future wasn't for me in Ghana. You know, because how do I find a job? How do I make life? It was very difficult. So when people were traveling to Nigeria in the late 70s, I decided to go to Liberia instead, because at the time Liberia was using the dollars, American dollars. And I heard that place was very nice and less populated area. So I went to Liberia. I didn't even tell my family members. And when I got there a couple of months later, I wrote to them and told them I'm in Liberia. That's where I made life. And from Liberia, I came to the United States.
Wow.
I didn't go back to Ghana. I came straight down here.
Okay. How was your life in Liberia?
Well, life in Liberia, I was doing my technical work as an electrical technician. But the pay wasn't good enough. You know, so I couldn't make Yes, it wasn't enough to, do anything with it. So I decided to drive a yellow cab over there. Drove taxi for about 2.5 years.
In
Made some
Liberia?
money, yes, made some money and left for the US.
Wow. So when did you get here?
I came here in 1981.
Oh, wow.
That was when Liberia they had a coup and who was in power. And the country was almost upside down with riots and fighting, and the soldiers were in control.
The soldiers were in control.
Yeah, and kind of like an anarchy, lawlessness everywhere. So I realized it was the right time for me to leave. So I left, came to the US. Yeah, came here in 1981.
Okay, so when you came to the US, then you went to school. You know, I spoke to you, and you are deeply into real estate.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of advice that you gave. Now, we in the African community, and this is what I really want us to talk about.
Okay.
We in the African community are comfortable staying in somebody's house, paying all this money to people, and we don't even have the mindset of trying to say, I believe I can have a piece of the land that I'm in. So now, what is your take on us? I'm talking about us, the African community.
That's right.
You've seen a lot, and give us some of the things that you've seen in our community.
Okay. Basically, I didn't start as a real estate agent. I'm an electrical engineer, in a formerly college known as RCA, and a little bit at NYIT. So when I graduated, I worked for the MTA. I worked for MTA for 26 years.
Wow.
But during that time, a friend of mine tried to introduce me to buying a house. So I wasn't interested because his approach wasn't something that really interested. I wasn't so interested in that. Because I was looking at the bill that I was paying. My rent at the time in the South Bronx was $500 a month. So I said to him, why would I like to pay $2,000 a month for a mortgage? I don't think so. And besides, I don't like to stay here too long. I would like to go. So no, come. It's my church member. You don't understand. So what don't I understand? No, I don't like it. So I was just a hard-headed person, just like almost everybody else. That's right. So the one time, my daughter had to go to high school in the South Bronx. They couldn't find a seat for her in the computer room. Places were crowded.
Wow.
So they asked me to call Board of Ed. I did call Board of Ed. They told me, hey, we can't help you. What? My daughter had to stand in class for computer class? So right away I called my friend. I want to move out of New York. So I called him about the house he was telling me about. Okay, so he said, yeah, it's interesting. But you can buy a house and then buy a house at a better place where you can find a good school for your children. So I went to West Nyack and bought a house over there. Bought a house in West Nyack, and that's where we went with my kids. Very nice neighborhood, school, interesting. It actually is it's the second safest district in the whole of the United States. So I'm not advertising for West Nyack, but
Really?
my children really enjoy the place. It's right here in Rockland County. Yeah, very big land. It's like the place is very nice. So my kids enjoyed the place, and I was also there. So it was during that time the price of the houses were jumping up and down. I mean, it was going very high. So it didn't take long for me to see a lot of equity on my house. So I decided that at the time I was also doing I was doing income tax as a part-time with H&R Block, because I realized, one paycheck.
You are too gifted.
Oh, yes. One income is not going to be enough in this country if you really want to make it, live comfortable here. So when I leave from work, I work for H&R Block. I went to their school. They trained me, and I worked for them on 3rd Avenue and Brook Avenue, where the first class that started that office over there. And that was in the year 2000, I think 1999 or 2000, yes. So I started doing income tax over there. And then I realized that, okay, maybe I should be doing real estate too on a part-time basis. Because when I bought the house had an equity. So I decided, let me do part-time right now in real estate. So I went to the school, and I was assigned with one of Ghanaian real estate agents in Westchester Avenue. Yeah. And before that, I took the equity on that house on West Nyack, right? And bought myself a commercial building on Castle Hill Avenue. But the way it happened, I could not get bank to buy it for me because it's a commercial building. You need a lot of money. So I had to take a loan from a house, then buy it. It was taking long, but the owner made a deal with me. As a matter of fact, he financed the house for me for 2 years so I can look for a bank. Yeah, so it was a very good thing for me. Real estate always appreciates. Why? Because population is not going down. Population is going up. And the planet is not enlarging. So real estate never goes down. It always goes up. So when I bought that house, I decided to become a real estate agent. Went to the school, and I saw how the real estate market was also good. So it was also a very good thing for me that I tried to introduce that to friends. But it hasn't been easy trying to convince our people that buying a house is a good thing to do.
That's what I wanted you to.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you live in this country, you must buy a house. And why you must buy a house? Because buying a house is not like buying a car or a boat. Those are properties, yes, but the real estate is known as real property. Because real estate as a building, it can last hundreds of years. And before you buy a house too, you have to actually know what you are doing, because you can't just buy any house. As a middle class, most of us from the third world countries, most of us are middle class. So you want to do the right thing. You can't just buy any house. Before you buy a house, you have to make sure you buy the right house. That's where we come in. See, so if you want to buy the right house, you have to see real estate agents, because it will help you whenever you buy the right house. It helps you. If you buy the wrong house, you're in trouble. Just like marrying, it's just like having your spouse. If you get engaged with the wrong spouse, your life has ended. You are doomed. Just like buying a real estate. As a middle class, you must buy either 2-family house or 3-family house with a basement. And you must buy in a good location. And not just buy a house.
Let me ask you this question. It looks like our community, it's only a handful of people that have been able. Is there something in this real estate thing that we are not educated about, or do you think it's fear?
We are not educated about it. One is fear, yes, it's both. One is fear because we are not educated about it. Yes. It doesn't take much to buy a house. It doesn't take much to buy a house. But you must buy the right house in a good neighborhood. Yes. But you see, if you look at our background, back home, our education system did not help us a lot.
Oh.
Yes. So when we come here, getting a good job also becomes a problem. You need at least a gross income of $75,000 to $80,000 in a good neighborhood in the Bronx to be able to buy a 2- or 3-family house. So whether your own income or a combined income with you and your brother or your sister or your spouse, from $75,000 and up, you could get a very good, nice 2-family house or 3-family house in a good neighborhood. You understand? So in that case, it will help you. If we have a good background in education-wise, we can always continue our education and get a better job. That makes it much easier to buy a house. You understand? But that has become a problem. But the city have so many programs, 6 months classes, 1 year classes mostly for the men, in the aspect of technical fields, for plumbing and electricians and so on and so forth. Just about 6 months or a year, which can help a lot of our people. So, you know, if we have just a little bit of good job, you can be able to help yourself. You must buy a house. The reason why you must buy a house is because when you get old here, you go back home, you come back. how long can you be able to live with your friend? If you have a 2-family house, you can even fix the basement, come and spend some time there, take care of your medical issues, and go back home. So owning a house is very, very important here in the United States. Why? Because you can even take the equity of the house to buy a house back home. So you must do this one first before buying a house back home. That's right. And then before buying a house too, you must check your credit. There are so many scammers out there. You will check your credit and say, oh, we can fix your credit score for you. No, those are all scams. The people pay $400 and you...
Are you kidding?
Oh yes, those are scams. You pay the $400 and your money will just be taken for a ride. They will tell you that you will see the difference in a couple of years. So like a year or two, your credit will be okay. But it's not them. They are not doing it. Automatically, they will tell you don't buy things, and gradually your credit might be building by itself.
Oh my Lord!
So all those $400 are not real. You are building your own credit. Trust me.
No.
Yes,
No. Let's talk about this one.
Yes.
So all these people that
They're
say
telling you that they can fix your credit, they are lying.
They're lying.
They're lying. Forget the lawyers. Forget this. It's all a scam. It's all a scam. Don't be shopping anymore. Take care of yourself, okay? And you said okay. And you are not buying anything, but you're taking care of your credit. So it's building by itself. They are not doing anything for you. But here's the thing you can do. There's an underwriter that I know of, which he does it. This is how it's done. He will check your credit when you're about to buy a house. He will check your credit. Then he will tell you, take care of this, take care of this one here. When you do take care of that, bring the receipt. He will call the credit bureaus and he will tell them, we just paid, my client just paid this off and paid this off. His credit score should shoot up now. So let me fax you the receipt. She will fax it right before you, and your credit score will jump to the credit score that we want. It should be 650 and above, and your credit will be fixed right instantly right there.
No.
Oh, yes.
No, Mr. Jonathan, no.
Yes.
No. I really want us to talk about this thing here.
Yes.
Because a whole bunch of people have messed up their credit. And we are told that, oh, there is somebody here. It's interesting. I was just talking to one of my spiritual sons. It was just last week. And then he calls me FaceTime. And then he goes, Mommy, I am here with this gentleman, and this gentleman, he was trying to buy a car.
Yeah.
And the gentleman said, I can help you fix your credit. And I'm like, well, thank God I don't have a bad credit. And so he says, oh, the guy said he can, So what I'm hearing from you now.
It's a scheme.
People listen. People listen to me.
It's a scheme.
No. We are living in the world or in a place where
they want to make money. They want to make money off of you anyhow, because they see you are vulnerable. You need your credit to be fixed. They take the $400, and it's surprisingly it's $400 all across the board everywhere I hear. It's $400, and this my underwriter's own is free.
No, Mr. Jonathan.
Yes.
You are saying to me here, and there are thousands of people watching us. You are saying to me that all these cleaning your credit is all a scam?
It's a scam. It is a scam, yes. You can do it yourself. Meanwhile, it take about 2 years for it to clear, and you are the one doing it. They are not the one doing it. They are not doing anything for you. You can't change it over there.
So, in other words, if they, for example, which of course, thank God, my credit is not bad. But if your credit is bad, and somebody says, okay, I can help you clear your credit. Now, pay $400. So they take the $400 from you, and then they give you instruction.
Yes.
Don't buy this.
Don't
spend money. Don't pay off your credit card.
That's right.
So it was just an advice they gave for $400.
Right. Which you can advise yourself to fix your own credit.
Holy Father.
Yeah. So that's exactly what it is.
No, this is an eye opener. I'm being very honest with you.
That's
really?
Right. It is. Yep.
So wow.
So buying a house, as we are talking about, right? You fix your credit, Usually, most of the banks want you to have at least 650 score and above, right? And some banks will take a little below, 650. So what the underwriter does is she makes sure that your credit score is close to 650 or and above. So she will tell you, do this to do that. She will look at what will actually help you push you to 650 and above. And so she will tell you, get rid of this one here. Maybe this one will cost you this amount of money to pay off this credit card. Because you need a ratio. You don't have to have so much debt when you're going to buy a house. And not only that, after fixing your credit, your income tax comes into play. So for the next 2 years that you want to buy a house, your taxes are filed differently. You don't file the taxes that you've been filing previously, because you file taxes. We all know that you want to
get some money back
here and there, so which are legitimate. You understand? But here's the thing: the bank speaks a different language.
I like that.
Which is known as the imperialist language. That you must speak their language. Like you travel to Spain, you must learn their language, so you'll be able to communicate with them.
A particular language.
Yes, which you don't know. So I was wondering, because I have some properties, I do refinancing and stuff like that,
No.
So most of the time.
No. If
so
you said the bank speaks
I'm coming
a language,
to that. Yes.
what does that mean?
Yes. What it is I asked the underwriter, how was I denied? They will give you a run around. Well, the underwriter saw this, and there's a lot of things that played into your what we call it, your credit score. So a lot of things were involved, and so that's why we did not qualify you. So I have this underwriter friend, and I asked him, she told me, no, this is the language they speak, and you must speak the same language, meaning your income tax, there are certain things that need not to be on it. One, if you're a blue-collar worker, you have a union, so you pay union dues. That's legal, it's legit. It's okay, that's understandable. Now you go to church, so you pay tithe too. That is variable. The other one, the first one, which is your union dues, is constant. But the church dues is variable, meaning that when you don't have the money, you don't give much to the church. So when you have money, you give more. So that one is understandable. It's understood that you can always change that. So they don't care much about that neither. But where they worry about is when you buy uniforms, shoes, laundry, and so on and so forth. So that part, the expenses you have on your job, that's why you have to get rid of that one. Because they look at last year's income tax. You bought the same clothes, the same shoes again. So that means you have to come into calculation that every year you buy shoes and clothes and laundry, so that eats up into your expenses. So in other words, your gross, after taking all these expenses, your net becomes very small. It doesn't make you qualify, because look at it this way. You have to check your other expenses, and then you have to be left with at least 38% of your gross, of your net. And if you fall short, that means you fall short. You are not qualified. So we have to get rid of those expenses, because you can't say, oh, I don't buy shoes every year. But last year you bought, this year you also say you bought. And you had laundry and expenses and all kinds of stuff that you put on those expenses. We have to take that off. If we take that off, if you didn't make that much money, if we take that off, it brings your net up.
Wow.
And you don't know that. You understand? So my underwriter will tell me, what I do is I prepare the taxes first. You can't submit to the IRS first. I have to show it to my underwriter. How does it look? Oh, this is good. Oh, take this off, take that off. And leave this and leave that. And therefore, you will qualify. So once you pre-approve me, then I send it to the IRS. Internal Revenue Service. Because once you send it down there, you cannot come back and say, I want to amend my taxes. The banks are not going to take that. Because you want to buy a house, now you want to tell us the truth. We don't know which one is the truth anymore. That's right. So when you come to me, my underwriter, will prepare you for the next 2 years before you buy the house, if you're not making good money.
People of God, we're going to take a break. I'm telling you, we're going to take a break. We'll be back. As we take a break, I want you to share, call a friend, tell a friend, This is very important. I'm telling you, this is very important. I am reading something. Somebody says, wow, our church just had this as our empowerment night the other day, living within your means. And somebody also says, Mommy, God bless you for this informative session. I am very blessed by this. Now, I want you, I'm telling you, I want you to get everybody you can get. Anybody you love, let them watch this session because it will bless you. You see, God wants us to be blessed, but He doesn't want us to walk in ignorance. Ignorance. Because we are ignorant about certain things, the enemy is taking advantage because of our ignorance. And so, listen, this gentleman here is a very busy man, okay? As he's sitting here, he has to run to go somewhere else. But because of you, the audience, because you see, if God says this year He will bless us and every other year He will bless us, well, thank God for people whom God has positioned in certain places that with their help we can become who God wants us to become and have what God says we can have. We are taking a break. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Blessings TV. Blessed to be a blessing. Blessings TV. Blessed to be a blessing. Welcome back.
Yeah, we are back again. You're watching Blessings TV, and this is Time with Blessings. I am here with Mr. Jonathan Laryea, and a real estate, voice in our community. And today, he's really educating us concerning taxes, how we file our taxes, and the ability every one of us have to be able to get a piece of whatever land or country you are in. You should be and can have a piece of that country by getting yourself involved in real estate. In other words, buying yourself a property. And he said something that very interesting. He says you have to speak the language of the bank. So the bank has a language.
Most of the time, look at with me with so much experience, when they come with some seminars and conferences, I can tell the rookies.
Oh, I like that. You can tell when the rookies come. Oh. I like that. They only send the. Oh, so they have the way of speaking.
Yeah, when they speak, they don't have much of the answers. So you know, the bank is just a robot. You can able to. You are clever than the bank.
Wow.
The bank is smart, but you are clever, smart at the same time. So you have to speak. Most cases, someone like Donald Trump, most of the money he paid, building and buying, in most cases he didn't time.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, you have to get into the commercial aspect. Banks work with you. The bank won't make it.
Wow.
The bank won't make it. So, why you must own? Because as time goes on, rent keep going up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If you have your own house, it's a peace of mind. So many reasons why you must buy a house. The reason why you must buy a good house. Also, I'll get to that. But when you want to buy a house, Don't be talking too much about it to your friends. So we all have two friends.
Listen, people, listen. Go ahead.
We all have two friends. One of the friends is a very jealous person. And one of the friends is just a braggart. The jealous person is the one who cannot buy the house. He don't want you to buy the house. So he will tell you stories. He will tell you all kinds of scary stories that he heard people saying about buying houses and they lost their houses and so on and so forth. So don't go put yourself into that. But the other one who is completely, excuse me to say, ignorant about buying a house, but he want to feel important in your life. So he will say something for you to know, to feel that he's also important in the community. Oh, I'm telling you, people buy houses, let it go. They can't pay for it and so on and so on. He'll be telling stuff as if you know what he's saying. He just wants to be recognized in your eyes as an important friend of yours that he knows, even though he doesn't know anything. So your best advice is not to talk to your friends much about it, even to family members. But there's somebody you can confide in. But talk to a real estate agent. Look for the right person. Talk to them you want to buy a house and ask questions. You can't just buy a house in any place. You cannot just buy a house, any kind of house. No. If you're middle class, try not to buy a single house, a single family house, like a private house. Don't do that. You can't afford it. Even if you make 100,000 or more, it's not going to be easy after net. After your taxes has been taken away from you, the net, you cannot be able to pay the average monthly mortgage of 3,000 plus your heating bills, all your car expenses, and so on and so forth. Plus you haven't eaten yet. Your children will wear clothes and so on and so forth. So you're looking at least $5,000 every month. And $5,000 from your net is not an easy money. Your best bet is to buy a two-family house. If you buy a two-family house, it will benefit you. You cannot buy a house in a bad neighborhood. One, because in a bad neighborhood, the house does not appreciate. So there are three reasons to buy a house. One is about location. The second one is about location. Guess what the third one is?
Location.
It's also about location.
Oh.
The location is when you buy in a bad neighborhood, your house is not going to appreciate. It basically remains the same. If you're not lucky, you probably will depreciate instead. And when you're ready to sell the house, who are you going to sell it to? So someone who had their heads on their shoulders don't want to buy a house in a roach-infested and rat-infested area with so much crowded area, noise, and they will not like to buy the house. So you probably end up selling the house to contractors who will fix it and rent it to city welfare recipients and so on and so forth. Understand? And when you want to rent to, the other third point, when you want to rent, someone who has a good job and want to live nice, so you end up with people who make low income. Therefore, you'll be forced to rent your house, your apartment at a lesser price, and your house is not going to be appreciated. It's not going to be appreciating. If you're not lucky, it will be depreciating instead. Whereas when you buy the house in a good neighborhood, it's about $100,000 to $150,000. Same type of house. That's why you rent it to good people. Ready to sell, people line up. You see when it's an open house in a good neighborhood, 2 or 3 from the basement, you just go the same day.
Wow.
Yes, because here in the Bronx, the good neighborhood are a bit limited. So good houses doesn't last. So you have to take your time. Like that's right. Wow. You have to take your time and buy in a good neighborhood. And the reason why you must buy 2 or 3 family houses is this. When you're buying 2 or 3 family house, the government gives you
Schedule E.
You will have to fill out that Schedule E. It's deemed as business taxes.
Okay.
So that portion of your house that you're renting as business, you are allowed to deduct up to $25,000 expenses every year off the top of your gross. So imagine if you're making $100,000 a year in your job. You're going to be paying taxes based on the $100,000 you made. Because you have 2 family house, you're going to be paying $75,000 taxes. You're going to pay taxes based on $75,000. So you see all the money you paid on your job for the sake of $100,000, they took more from you. So you're getting more money back this time. You are allowed to deduct water bills, light bills, expenses, repairs, mortgage interest, mortgage tax, insurance, including depreciation. So all these things, when you deduct all this, sometimes you deduct more than $25. So it makes you get more money back. By the time you check all this money that you got back, like you live rent free.
Listen.
So that's what I said. You have two or three. I know a friend that I sold a house to, live rent free from day one. Two floors were three-bedroom apartments, but three-bedroom apartment. The ground floor was one-bedroom apartment. He was living there because his wife was in Ghana. One of the two rents, paid the mortgage.
People,
So
wow.
you can't buy a one-family house. In that case, you have to work 2 or 3 jobs. When you see your house, you say, I think I live here. But you want to go there to take a nap. You have to run to the next job.
Wow.
And you cannot file taxes. You can only deduct taxes on one-family house, on mortgage interest and mortgage tax. Insurance is not included. Repairs are not included. Utility bills are not included. And you cannot file Schedule E. So you see, it doesn't pay. Some people don't even want to buy a house, you want to buy on want to shovel snow. How many times we shovel snow in New York? This year, have we ever shoveled snow yet? No. So you can't come here and try to be lazy. Say, I don't want to shovel snow. So you have young guys out there who shovel snow for $25 or $30. And in snow, we get snow maybe 2 or 3 times in the whole year. So you must own a house. If you make $40,000 a year, your spouse or your sister makes about $40,000 a year, you over the threshold, you'll be able to buy a house. It's very important because after a couple of years, the equity that you got out of your house, you can't save that money. Because real estate, like I said before, this planet is not enlarging. The population is keep growing.
I like that.
You understand?
The planet is not enlarging, but
no,
the population
is
keeps growing.
So it becomes an inflation where more money chasing less goods. So real estate is the same place. Just have to go up. It's not coming down. Real estate is coming down. It never goes down. When you buy a land in Ghana 10 years ago, find out how much the land cost. Bought a land in Ghana 1992 for $2,300. Now the land is worth in West Legon is worth over $100,000.
All right, we're gonna repeat that. I think your volume is kind of low, so they can't hear. We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Blessings TV. Blessed to be a blessing.
Hands are lifted. Hearts are crying out. Let it rain on us. Hands are lifted. Oh, Father. Hearts are crying out. We need supernatural rain on us. Oh, let it rain.
Blessings TV. Blessed to be a blessing. Welcome back.
Hi, we're back. Now, these are some of the reasons why you watching us and you are enjoying time with blessings. These are the reasons why your support is needed. Seriously. All right. So I am here with Mr. Jonathan Laryea, and a real estate, mogul in our community. And today he's really teaching us, educating us about real estate. And so I believe that we got to a point where the sound, so some of the information you missed. So you were saying that it is good for us to buy a two-family. Why?
The reason why you have to buy a two-family house is simple. If you buy one family house, there are so many deductions you cannot deduct on your income tax.
Yeah.
Besides, the average mortgage payment on one family house is about $3,000 and above. So you end up, if you add your heating bills and your utility bills, your food, your car and expenses, you will be in the $5,000. And therefore, it's going to be very hard for you as a middle class. Because even if you make $100,000, I've seen people who were not able to make it. So your best bet as a middle class is to have a 2 or 3 family house. 2 or 3 family house. Because if you have one family house, you will say to your friends, I think I live here. So you don't live there because you only come there to take a nap. You have to have another job, 2 or 3 jobs, before you'll be able to foot that bill. You are killing yourself. You will not live long to see that house. Understand? But the 2-family house is a good thing. And let's not forget, the 2-family house or the 3-family house, the government give you incentive. What I mean by incentive is that you live in one floor and you're renting the other floor, because you can't live in 2-family house. You live in one and you rent the other one. The other one, the government deemed that as business. So you must fill up a business form known as Schedule E. So when you fill out the Schedule E, you can deduct insurance, expenses, light bills, utility bills, repairs, mortgage insurance, mortgage taxes, and mortgage interest, including depreciation. So there's a whole lot of deductions you can deduct. The government allows you to deduct up to $25,000 of the top of your gross on your job. So let's say if you made $100,000, you pay taxes. Taxes were taken from you. Tax was held based upon $100,000. There's a lot of taxes were taken from you. But at the end of the year, when you file in your taxes, you take $25,000 off the top of your gross. So now you're going to be paying taxes based upon $75,000. And for that reason, you pay tax already based upon $100,000. So you're getting a whole lot of money back from the government. So it pays to buy a 2-family house. You have room. And when you check the amount of money you get back, it's like you live rent-free. You check the money you get back. The average money back is about $15,000 and more. Even if you have dependents, it's even more than that. Because then you still have some deductions on your Schedule A. So buying 2-family house really pays a lot. Whereas when it's a 1-family house, you can only deduct mortgage interest and mortgage tax. That's it. No repairs, no insurance, no utility bills, nothing. Understand? So it always pays to buy a 2-family house. Real estate, as I said before, real estate, this planet is not enlarging, but the population is growing. So because population is growing, you have more money chasing fewer goods. So like for me, I bought a land 1992 in Westlands in Accra for $2,300. Now it's worth over $100,000. People begging, to buy the land. So real estate is not coming down. Real estate is always going up. Rent you're paying, you cannot file tax with it. But look at if you buy a house now, the amount of equity you get in about 5 years, you can't save that money. I remember one house I bought in the year $2,000 for about $400,000 and change. The house is worth $850,000. Can I save that in 6 years? Can I save that difference in 6 years? And beside that, the principal is $400 and something thousand that I bought. Now I owe the bank less, like about $350,000. That's also part of the equity. That's what you call equity. So if you have a house You hear people say equity, equity, equity. So you bought something for $500,000. And about 5 years, you owe the bank like about $420,000. The difference you owe the bank is there's a profit of $80,000 there, right? But now, because it's 5 years ago, the house is now sold for $500,000 anymore. That house is being sold for like about $650,000. So if you look at the difference between the 420 to 650, that whole big gap interest is known as the equity. You can take 80% of it. The bank can give you 80% of it as a loan. You can take that and do anything with it in Ghana. Buy yourself a Mercedes Benz, and anything kind of thing, any kind of car you want or any property you want. And guess what? That interest, if you buy a car with it, or even if you give it away, because it came from your house, it came from the equity, that interest, you can use it to file your taxes again. But you cannot use any other interest to file your taxes. Let's say you bought clothes or you bought car. You cannot use that interest to file taxes. But because you took this money from your house, the bank will give it to you as part of your house interest. You can file taxes with it. And in most cases, if you wait when the interest rate comes down and you refinance during that time, you will have that money for free, and you're basically paying the same amount of money you're paying on your mortgage. So buying a house, there's so many reasons why you must buy a house. But because we're not educated, you hear people telling you, oh, my friend bought a house, he lost the house. You must buy the right house at the right location. That's the basic. Yep.
So let me ask you this. Is it because we give our ears to
our friends
Yeah, exactly. And so that's the reason why people are afraid to buy homes? Or you believe that people think it is because I really didn't get it. Why would somebody go and buy a house, for example, in Africa? Now you buy this beautiful big house in Africa and you don't even live there. So you spend all this money buying a home in Africa and you are living abroad and you are paying rent. And meanwhile, you have a house back home that family members are staying in that house. They are not paying nothing. You end up paying for that house and somebody's enjoying it and you are chasing after the bus.
Yes, that's a very bad misconception. What we call it, you can own a house in Ghana, but here is the thing: you must own a house here first. Take the equity and buy the house in Ghana, or build it little by little. You know, if you leave your house in Ghana for people to build it for you,
or in Africa,
in Africa for you, you are in trouble. They're just like wolves in sheep's skin. Your money, you will not see your money's worth. Go there and do it by yourself little by little. But take the equity from here, because this one here is more important. It appreciates more. And the amount of money you will save in 5 years, you can't save that money in the bank. You understand? And besides, you have tenants paying your rent for your mortgage for you. You just adding up a little bit of it. But also another thing is, you must make sure you have the right tenants. You can come to me from my experience. I'll tell you how to look for the right tenants.
You have to have the right tenants.
I always make sure that I guide you all along. It's not for me. It's not only about money. No, so I want to help my people to understand what they're missing. I remember I was selling a house. I co-broke with another broker, selling a house in Tuxneck for a friend of mine, one of my clients. And when everything went through, the broker told me that he's not going to share the commission with me. Otherwise, then he's not going to sell the house to my friend. But looking at the location of the house in Tuxneck, a very nice neighborhood, and the structure of the house, it's a two-family house with a full basement. So the incentives and the profit and the equity that's going to be coming on this house here, when I look at it, should I put my interest first and say because I'm not getting commission, I must let my friend, I can let the house go and tell my friend, let me go look for another house for you. No, I forfeited my commission for my friend. Oh yes, you can ask the underwriter will tell you that. I forfeited my commission of about $8,000. So my friend can own the house that he has an equity of over $60,000 in it. So the underwriter took $1,000 himself and gave it to me. I said, thank you, it's okay anyway. I want him. I'm not going to deprive my friend or my client that opportunity, because it's not easy to find a good house. It's like looking for a good spouse or a good husband. You understand? So I forfeited that. So I'm willing to do that for my people. Just like, so that's how much I care. And my clients really know about that. Yes.
Let me ask you this here. A whole lot of us have gotten ourselves in groups.
Oh.
This
Associations.
associations. Thank you.
Yeah.
We are in associations. So the Akan Association, the GA Association, the Krobo Association, I mean different kinds of associations. My thing is, it looks like all these associations, I'm sorry, but I'm not in any. And I don't plan getting in any.
Yeah.
Now, all these associations, people go there and all they do is to pay dues.
Yeah. Let me get back to that. It's one of the most saddest issues that I have with these associations, that they are not, they don't have vision. And so when they came here, they just want to have friends, I guess. And you look at it, it's so sad how these so-called associations have done to our people. You look at the Jewish associations and the Jewish group, league, and so on and so forth. While we are sleeping and jumping and dancing, they are planning where they can find zoning areas, how they can find empty lots and build on it, which bank to get in contact with, which underwriter will be able to help them to acquire loan to build and rent it to the city. While meanwhile, we go to these associations, and what is our goal? Our goal is, well, if your mom passed away or your dad passed away, we will come and support you. And that's all. And so that's it. That's the only reason why you're paying dues. Then eventually the association end up collapsing. So then in the summertime, they call each other, take your grills, let's go have barbecue. Go have barbecue, go dance and laugh and play around. And that's it. And at the end of the year, sometimes the association just go out of business. One person pockets the money and that's it. But look at it this way. If we have an association, the association should have a better goal. By now, we should have our banks even by now. How? The association, the city has so many programs, such as technicians, plumbers, and so on and so forth. There are so many things we can do. The association can introduce that and show the way.
The
Opportunities can take advantage of these opportunities. Education system, how our brothers and sisters can enroll in college, how our children can enroll in Ivy League colleges, and how you can get to become a nurse, and so on and so forth. The GED, these programs, these are things we have to be discussing. You understand? These are the things we have to be discussing, which will help us, because we have to have a foundation. You don't see anybody blowing a trumpet with an empty stomach. We have to have a foundation first before we're able to pay money into the association. You understand? The people must have good jobs. We have to project that. That should be our goal and our vision, that our people must have good jobs. How do we help them to get these things? That's what the association should be dreaming, not picnic and jumping and dancing. No. And also, once in a while, you invite people like me to come and, be an eye-opener about why you must have a property, why you must go to school, why you must do this, why you must do that. These are the things we must meet and discuss, even in the churches. You know, your coworker or your church member is looking for an apartment, he's looking for a house to buy. You send him to the right people. Somebody want to go to college, somebody want to be a doctor. You send him to the right person. Teach him, tell him what he needs to do. So these are the things we have to do. But it's like, you came your own way, we don't care about you, just bring your dues and pay your dues, and the next 30 years when your mom passes away, we'll come and support you. Look at us. We have $1,000 in our hands to support you. Don't you clap for us? We've done very well, and this has been like we have enclosed ourselves into 4 corner boxes, and we can't see past our nose. It's very sad.
So, in other words, it's a mindset.
It's a mindset, and we must work hard towards that. Just as you brought me here, there are so many people who can help the association bring their ideas onto the table and be discussed to help the individuals who can go to remedial classes, get your GEDs, do this, get into this program. You understand? Helping each other to be on our feet. So in that case, when buying a house should not be an issue at all. There are so many opportunities here, but we don't see to see it.
Wow. Well, we are being educated today when it comes to real estate and how we, ought to take advantage of what, we have around us. The issue here, I believe, is that because either we are not educated or it's both not being educated and fear. And so we are not taking the move or making the move and benefiting. Because anything that you've invested in, you should be able to benefit out of. And so we are going to take one more break. And then when we come back, we are going to wrap up with Mr. Jonathan Laryea. And I believe this have been a blessing. We are going to come back. I want to say this before we take the break. My prayer for all of us, including myself, is that whatever benefit God is giving to us through certain vessels, certain individuals, let us take advantage of. Because it wouldn't make any sense for you to take all information or get every information and don't make use of it. And so we'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Blessings TV. Blessed to be a blessing. Blessings TV. Blessed to be a blessing. Welcome back.
We are back with Mr. Jonathan Laryea, and it's very, very important, and it's very good for us having him here to educate us. This station is not only going to be us having people coming and worshiping and all that, and pastors, but it's going to be a place where we will also be educated, because for lack of knowledge, the Bible says, my people perish.
That's right.
Now, before we went on the break, when in the midst of the break, we just said something. Why do you think people pray a lot, and yet it looks like our brains have gone on a break?
Yeah, it's so many things, but here's one of them. The whole continent has a problem because education system is one. We are not being taught the proper way. For instance, in the education system, if you have to learn about the Battle of Nsamanko was fought between who? You understand? You have to take exams on that. And you learn about the American prairies, the grassland of America, the grassland of North America was the prairies. And then you learn about the Niagara Falls, the Lake Superiors, the Great Lakes, and so on and so forth. It's good for anybody to know as a human being in this world. You must know your surroundings, so it's good to know all these things, but not to be so strict and take exams on it. We must we must rather get involved with maths and science, technology. We must teach our people how to market their stuff, innovation, visions. These are the things we must try to. Most of our high school guys in Ghana really don't even know the difference between a post office and a mailman, because we are not in touch with the modern world, and our leaders are not doing good at all. They're not doing great. For instance, look at how we have 11 million square miles of land in the whole continent of Africa, yet we can't feed ourselves. Something is seriously wrong with us. You understand? So our people have tended to worshiping only, and they asking God for help. The help from God is the divine intervention. Is the miracles come from that area. But as for looking for your goals, God say you must sweat first before you eat. So if you pray to God, say, help me. And God is like, I've given you everything. In the abundance of water, the full is tasty. You are standing in the middle of water. Look at it this way. So you must ask, it shall be given. Knock, the door will be open for you. You look for it, you will find it. Keep asking. But don't expect God to pour miracles
Without
of manna.
working.
So when I pray to God, by the time I get home, there's manna all over my veranda. We are not stuck on a desert. So that's not going to work right now. We must ask and do the right thing. Pray to God to give you wisdom, just like he did to Solomon.
Yeah.
You understand? And everything else will fall into play. Do the right thing, respect one another, because he opens doors.
Yeah.
You can't just pray to God. When I gave you money to give it to my mom, and you went and spent some of the money to take taxi because you're not compassionate. And then when you got that, the money is even lost. And you come here and pray, and you think God is going to bless you with that? No. If we have time, I will say something. Why God is actually might be angry at we black people.
Why?
Yes, look at it this way. When there was no rain sometime, right? And people ask God, God, why don't you rain for us this year, please? We need rain for our crops. So God said, I rain when I want to rain. So I own the universe. There's a reason why I rain here and I don't rain there, because I control the universe. I know why. So if I don't rain, there are so many rivers out there. Why aren't you doing the canal and the irrigation system? I send those people you call white folks, the light-skinned people you call Rooney, to come into your country. 200 years ago, they taught you about irrigation system and canals. You learned that in primary school. Have you put that into use yet? You said no. It's too hard. It's too hard to dig the canals with shovels and pickers, right? The light-skinned people, God said, you are stronger than them. You've been baked by the sun. You are stronger than them. And they did their own hundreds of years ago to help themselves with it. And even when they plant their crops, in the summer, in the winter time, I snow all over the place because I need the snow to cool off the earth. Other than that, the earth will be so hot, you can't even stay on it. And they know, so they prepare themselves for it. They went and took a lesson. They took a book from the little ant that I sent all of you to go and take a lesson from. The white folks did that. So they prepared themselves for the winter. You have all year round temperature, good. Rivers all over the place. You are not taking advantage of it. So if I don't rain, then you guys are going to die. You are not pleasing me. You are not doing the right thing at all. But what? Jesus looked at him, and Jesus was in tears. And God told him, we better speak to your brothers down there, because they're not doing what I would like. He said, God, you have spoiled your children down there. So how do I know that? He said, you spoil your children. God said, yeah, I know that. He said, when they turn around, they see pawpaw, free, palm kernels, palm trees, coconut, mangoes, oranges. They didn't plant one of those. It was planted by the squirrels and the rats. They had everything for free. They don't have to worry about winter. No tornadoes, no hurricanes. So what are we complaining about? We refuse to think ahead of us. We refuse, because we had everything for free. You understand? So they say, okay, God, we will dig the canal next year.
Wow.
Okay, so give us rain. He gave them rain. You understand? So when he looked down the following year, some of the guys took their wives' clothes, tied around their waist, entertaining their friends, playing draft. Children, you didn't do the canal. Oh, it's too hard. You understand? So we cannot blame the white man for everything he does. Then we left our fertile land to come here and struggle and be enslaved. How is God going to be happy about us? Am I right or no? So somebody will ask you, how did you know that? I said, when you pick up the coconut, right? Shake it. You fill water in it. You don't see the water, but you know there's water in it. You know, it might not taste good or it tastes good. That part you don't know. So that's how I know. And I think you know that too. And the worst part of that is that we allow the foreigners to come into our country, destroy the land that the future generation will use to cultivate food for themselves, the crops for themselves. You understand? And use the carcinogen chemicals to wash the so-called gold into our rivers, destroy the whole river. Do you think God is happy about this when you're treating the future generation this way?
Oh.
And the same people who are doing this now are the same people who sold their brothers and sisters and their children into slavery 400 years ago. You think God is happy about us? And we'll have the opportunity to fix what we need to fix. All we do is just embezzle the money, conflict of interest, nepotism, corruption, all over the place. It's only me and about me.
That's it.
Not about the rest of the nation.
That's it.
The people are poor,
That's it.
crying for help. That's why you see them go to churches. They don't know where to turn because they've been cheated. They've been robbed off of their rights to exist. And they're crying for God to help them because they have no way out. And it's so sad. These African leaders, it's about time they all step down. Let us have new blood and new vision to take the country into a next level.
It's interesting. Couple of before we went live, my father, my spiritual father, sent me this video, and it's Kwame Nkrumah's daughter, and she is in a meeting and she's speaking, and she's saying that, oh, left to her alone, all Africans will come back home. And in the car, I said, come back home to what?
I saw that video.
You saw it?
Yeah.
Come
the lady
back.
looks like you. You look alike.
And I'm like, come back home to what?
To build a nation, she meant.
No, I mean, I know to build a nation, but those, our leaders have literally messed things up.
Yes, we have. We need to take our
And
country
if somebody, makes an attempt to change things,
back.
they come after
enemy.
you.
Yeah, they become the enemy. So for that reason, I want to go back to Ghana and help my area. There's so many things I want to help them in. I see one developer over there, known as Nana Bediakon. He's doing very great things for millionaires to be, he's changing the face of Accra. Just one thing. But we must create jobs for our people. There's so many things we can do. The world needs our products, The products are in the soil. Who is marketing them?
Look at something like shea butter.
Not only that, there are so many things. But guess what? We go to China to go buy toothpick to come and sell. Are you kidding me?
But Mr. Jonathan, do you know that it's very sad, but it's the truth. You see, for example, a Ghanaian selling something, and another Ghanaian or another African will not buy it. Let somebody from China sell the same thing.
Yeah,
they would rather go and buy the one from China than the one who is selling it the same thing.
Yeah, we have to educate them that we are very smart. Because if you look at we do good things, we have to convince them. That's another part we have to convince them. Because if you look now in the whole continent, in Ghana especially, whoever is working on behalf of the government from the bottom of their hearts are the national team, the Black Stars. They play their hearts out so we can keep our flag high. Even nowadays, some of them are just not too playing because they feel like they will be hurt, and so they don't want to contribute that much anymore. But as for the politicians, they are not helping at all. As a matter of fact, they're just not helping. So there are so many things we can do and educate the people that if you buy made in Ghana, you are helping to employ the next Ghanaian.
That's it.
So if we have that slogan going, it will work. These politicians, the only slogan they know is the only, when they're campaigning, there is no substance.
That's it.
It's about slogan.
That's it.
And then when the NDC also come, it says, Mama Onapo, Mama Onapo. What is the substance of message of change that he want to put this country forward with.
Change.
Nothing.
Change.
It's just not. It's just about slogans.
Change.
You understand? Slogan and tribalism to just pick. And, you know, the citizens are really tired of these things, you know. You could tell. You know?
Now, if you're watching us, I want you, it is not enough because time for, but there is more that Mr. Jonathan Laryea can help you with it. And so what I'm going to do is that I am going to ask need. And God, as we are all helping each other, listen, whatever mandate or blessing, whatever God has for us, we'll definitely be able to enjoy it. And so, Mr. Jonathan, I want you to give out your telephone number and information where somebody can reach you.
Okay. I'm also known as Nana Yawa J from Aquapim. So my number is 646-423-0418. Again, 646-423-0418. The advice is free. You can come to me for free. There's no consultation fee here. And I'll demonstrate to you on my computer and show you how things are done.
And so I want to take this opportunity to say a big, very, very, very big thank you to Mr. Jonathan for coming and spending time with us. And I believe and hope and pray that you've learned something. I'm asking that you share the video, let somebody be blessed by it. And as we keep learning and studying together, we will grow together. It is not about what we know. It is about what we know and applying what we know. If you know something and you don't apply what you know, then the knowing is useless. So therefore, it is good to know and it's good to apply what you know. Until I see you, when I see you, this is Sylvia Blessings. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.